So 2025 was such an amazing year for us in the Jair community, and we had some wins, some lessons, and some losses. This video will be trying to explain some of the stocks we picked, our rationale behind picking them, and the end results. So the first stock was a company called Copin. Now, Copin is a very exciting company into micro display, and one of the reasons why we chose them was because they were competing for a US government contract, and for a company that is just trying to make its third act, that sounded exciting. Now, with the new CEO in Michael Murray, I attended a few of their earnings calls, and it feels like a company that was about to make a good move. And we bought Copin at around 1.4. So they had some delays with releasing their quarterly statements. The company dropped from 1.4 to 0.7. That was a 50% drop. I don't like big drops like that. I don't. But one way or another, we kept holding, and the company the company went up from 0.7 to about $4. So for my initial $1.4, that was lead to about almost 3x. But for some of the people in the community that averaged that was 0.7, many some people made about 500%, 600%, and thereabouts. We got lucky. We got lucky with that. So that was one of the companies we chose for 2025. Another company we chose for 2025 is a company called Ondas, Ondas. Now, Ondas is a company I've known since 2021. Got to know it from one of my role models in stock. But both Ondas at in 2025, that was around March, April, thereabouts. Got in at around $0.78, and got the up to us. That was the absolute bottom for the year. And Ondas went from $0.78, went up to about $13 per share. I don't know how you want to calculate that. So for us, that was about 1,600% profit, and that was our biggest win for the year. God did it, not us. So why did we choose Ondas? And a few things played out in the last few years, from the Russia-Ukraine war and now Israel versus Hamas, and subsequently, although it was just speculation after all, we had China versus Taiwan, the two wars, and the one that almost happened. One thing was common with three: it was the use of unarmed vehicles or drones. Yeah, so it was so prevalent, and we're blessed and lucky to catch it very early, like very very early. So it was obvious that the future of warfare was not just in putting troops to the ground. Um, a lot has to come in play here, but it was primarily not just putting troops on the ground and expecting the I don't want to say the team with the most number of players, but the country with the most number of troops to win. Gone at those times where you have 300 soldiers trying to defeat 10,000 soldiers. So now we see more strategic um, warfare, and drone technology is one of the major players in the modern warfare. So that was one of the reasons why we bought Ondas. We had several other companies we could have bought that had some good performance better than that, but in looking at the progress afterwards, I think it was a good decision to buy Ondas. Several other acquisitions and all that, and Eric Brooks is doing a very great job. So that's Ondas, from 0.78 to about $13 per share. So the third company we bought in 2025 is a company called Albemarle. Now, Albemarle is a company in the lithium space, and then we bought Albemarle at about $70 to $80 per share. And one way or another, it was a very terrible buy, because we could have been patient for a month, 2 months, and we have gotten in at around $50 per share. So instead of us averaging down is not easy. Don't let anybody deceive you. Yeah, averaging down is not easy. So instead of us averaging down at $50, which we did, yeah, instead of us averaging down at $50, we could have just bought at $50. So we bought at 80, averaged down at 50. And as the time I'm speaking, Alba Mali is around $148 per share. So that was a good it would have been a good 3x win or 300% win if we had bought at 50. But that was like a good, well, with the average price and all, that's like 120, 110% win. Not spectacular, but considering the fact that most investment vehicles don't even give more than 20 to 25% per year, I think we should pat ourselves in the back. Yeah, before we close up on Alba Mali, one of the reasons why I'm not sure I talked about the reasons why we bought Alba Mali. So the reason why we bought Alba Mali was because we sort of predicted, um, probably we got lucky, probably we got blessed, probably we had some access to information early or earlier than others. So it was this issue with Trump and China. So at the start of the year, one of the theses we had was that there was going to be a sort of restriction on um, minerals, expensive minerals, and all that. And lithium was one of the minerals on our list. So we went for Alba Mali. We didn't know that Trump would actually place a tariff on virtually every product. We just thought it would be like precious minerals and all that. So that was our thought process for Alba Mali. Funny enough, if we had done more research, these things are better known in hindsight. If we had done more research, we would have seen that there are other companies not as valuable as Alba Mali that would have given us more returns than the 110, 120% we got. But again, I said earlier that we learned lessons this year. That's one of the lessons we learned. Okay, so we bought another stock called Sky Query. Now, Sky Query was the stock that um, taught us a lot of lessons and a lot of losses. So we bought Sky Query at around $0.6 per share. So the reason why we bought Sky Query was pretty straightforward. I like companies that are unique. It was a very speculative play, very, very speculative. But it was a risk I was very comfortable taking. It was convenient for me to take. I like businesses that are very, very double oriented, or I don't say vertically placed. Now, SkyQ makes money, or according to the research we made on the company, they make money from getting asphalt shingles. So what they do is they recycle asphalt shingles to produce oil and a few of that. So they make money from the asphalt shingles, and they also make money from the recycled oil. Yeah, so it was too good to be true, and that and that thing again. When an opportunity is too good to be true, wait for it to be at least true. We invested in our SkyQ with the expectation that by August they would roll out their refinery, first refinery, according to what was in their plan. So that was the thesis, and by July thereabouts, Sky Query started bringing out Bitcoin reserve, this, and the market went up. Now we bought around 0.6, went down to like 0.5, 0.4. But from there, the market went up to about $2 per share. So that was a quick 400 thereabouts percent. Again, you don't, what's it called? Any move up that is not substantiated would almost likely come down. Yeah, so many of us withdrew money from the community, but it really did not make sense in the sense that there was no tangible reason according to the plan they laid out at the start of the year. Bitcoin was nowhere near the plan they laid out at the start of the year. So, but we moved out, and another mistake we made, we entered back. We entered when it came down to about 0.8, 0.7. Yeah, so that was a very terrible mistake we made. Once you had gotten out, you don't look back. I can never turn back. Yeah, more like that. So we turned back, and it turned out to be very ghastly, very terrible. Yeah, so we turned back at around 0.8, and August came. There was no news around the refinery that we were expecting, and September came, and there was basically no news, just radio silence. And one of the things that I noticed over time, I was just going through their I really don't know what led me there. It's usually something I do before buying a stock, not after buying the stock. You get this was like almost 8 months after buying the stock. It was good basically. Yeah, so I went to check their insider transactions, and I was shocked. Now the CEO and or the co-founders, with husband and wife, now they were selling non-stop. And when I see people that own the business selling, I'm just an investor, bro. I'm just trying to make money. I'm not. It's not personal yet. So the person that or the people that own the business are selling aggressively. I mean, 50k sales, 100k sales for a company that's just about $100 million worth of at $100 million valuation thereabouts. And so all those many sales, it just didn't make sense. And the final straw that broke the camel's back, I checked it and I was about 6 sales. And on that day, I got a notification. So I set my alert that okay, when next they sell, let us know. And on that day, I got a notification that they sold. At least the husband sold, and it was very terrible because it was painful. I left out with about um I was trying to average down also, yeah, which was very bad. It was one of the cases, at least in the last 4 5 years, where averaging down went wrong. Um, Lessons were learned. Yeah, so I got out personally with about a 30% loss. Again, we don't always make profits in this thing. We made 1,600 profits. Now we are down with 30%. So I got out with about 30% loss. And the next day, the stock went up to about $1 on zero news, just basically no news. It was painful because I could have just gotten out at $1 with 24-hour patience. And so, but again, I've learned not to um, let those things count or let them get to me. Did I follow the due process? Yes. So I sold and it went up the next day, and currently it is down about 50% from where I sold. Yeah, so very terrible economics, down to about 0.29. So if you had held since then, or if you had held since then, the what's it called? The total profits or the total loss now will be about 70% thereabouts, if not more. I'm not sure I can do the maths on my head right now, but those are like these four stocks we bought in 2025. We bought some towards the tail end of the year, but I won't really count them because they're just like 2 months old, 3 months old. And I can say we got lucky with some of the stocks because many of them, especially Ondas and Coping, were stocks we're expecting to do well in 2026, but we should have started seeing the signs in 2025. And one way or another, we got some good gains in 2025. And yeah, those are the stocks we bought in 2025. And if you want to be a part of us, yeah, the email is going to be in the description below. Just hit us up. We are here for you. Peace out.